Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of the England Roger Sports Hour on Love Bay Afrobeats Music Talk Radio. On a weekend when it's very rainy outside in the GTA, and but for those of you other elsewhere, you may be getting sunshine, nice weather, but yeah, we gotta live with it here. But Roger, earlier this week we had remarkable weather.
Yeah, you know what? Everybody's saying it was spring because we
Yeah,
don't get 17 in the middle of February, early March. So it was crazy. And today's not where I am. It's drizzling. It's not, hard rain. So it's not so bad either. It's just not bright at
it,
all.
it's not right. Yeah.
But yeah, it's up and down. The weather, and they say next week it's going to go back into the teens again. So it looks like we can't wait to get spring. We're starting it in the first week of March.
Yeah, it looks like we should be okay. And with the weather, I hope we don't come to a point where it just drops way back down and then
I'm
we
worried
get
about that. And then we get
yeah,
a huge snowstorm on top of it.
yeah, exactly.
Winter starts over in the middle of
Yeah,
March.
that's all. We don't want to have that for sure.
We don't
So if
want
it
that.
stays like this, I'm okay with it. But, and
I can live with it, although I have some long-term concerns for the summer. If the winter is going to be 17, what exactly is the summer going to be, Ingle? Is it going to be 50? I don't know.
45, 50, yeah. And get some weather like we get in Dubai and
But
India and Sri
yeah,
Lanka.
I hope we don't
Yeah.
get that, 'cause that's another one
Yeah.
that's hard to deal with as well.
And surprisingly, I was following some cricket in Dubai, and games yesterday were called off because of rain, and that's not usual for Dubai to be having so much rain.
Rain.
Yeah, the
Wow.
UAE is having tons and tons of rain.
The weather is just upside down everywhere you go.
It is for sure. And this is the weekend when the clocks go forward. So remember
Don't
to
remind me.
lose you lose an hour's sleep tonight.
I'm giving up an hour.
Yeah, I
Giving
don't
up
even
an
want to
hour
remember
while
that.
my friends and family in Jamaica are not losing a thing. They don't have to give up
No,
anything.
they don't change the clock at all. So
They have a
daylight
good life.
saving. There's some parts of Canada don't even do that either.
Yeah, a couple. I think it's Lethbridge or something like that. But yeah, I
Lethbridge
think
and yeah, maybe
another place.
In Saskatchewan. I'm not sure if they do that anymore. I think they
Yeah,
would, yeah, they probably stopped.
we need to stop.
Yeah, but there's some relationship between here and New York doing it. So unless New York,
Yeah, and the stock market and all. There's a lot of
yeah,
things in the background that is problematic, but on the face of it, it should be easy to do to just stop. But a lot of things is tied to that. So we'll see if they
we'll
ever
see.
have the gumption to do it.
Yeah, we'll see for sure. But as usual, we're here to talk sports, and a lot is happening. There's tennis, Formula One, golf, cricket. Oh, and track and field last weekend at indoor as well.
The world indoors, yeah, it was
My
nice.
bud, I got my pick a little late, but at the right time.
For Coleman?
Coleman, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people are
Mm,
saying, he lost at the American Championships, but he's coming for this one. And, he
yeah,
brought his parents and everybody just to see it. So,
yeah,
he was meaning business when he got there.
yeah. It was really good to see it. A fantastic weekend of track and field, actually.
It was
Yeah.
really
So I'm
great,
sure
exciting.
you're gonna have a lot to talk about later on in that. But I wanted to start with something unusual, different, Roger, which not sure if you follow the high school basketball game where there's a controversy with Manasquan High School versus Camden, where there seemed to be a buzzer beater by Manasquan, but the referee called it off, and they didn't leave it there. They took it to court.
The court, no, I didn't
Yeah,
hear about that one. Really?
yeah. They asked the court to overrule. The court said they're not going to hear it. They went to the high court. All they
They went to
said
the higher
no.
court.
Yeah, they said no. We can't.
But isn't it about the rules of the game? You can't change
Exactly,
it after the game is done.
exactly. And they're saying about there's video shows that the ball, he got the shot off before the buzzer, but video is not allowed in the tournament. So
So why are they fighting it so hard?
yeah, they're fighting it because they would have gotten to the finals, which is playing today, and they actually asked the court to put off
The
the
final.
finals today.
No, they're not going to win that
And
case so easily.
no,
I've seen, I think usually mistakes made on the field during the game, like you can't change them after the game, right? You can only say the mistake was made. I don't think you can go back and change after
Yeah,
the game was accepted and finished. So
yeah, it
they're
made a
gonna
lot.
have a problem no matter how much how what court they go to.
Yeah, it doesn't matter for sure. And as it says, as one of the it made headline news, and even in CNN and all over it with the US, it's been NBC everywhere. And one of the comments that I saw was, it made sense. It says, do we have to go back and look at the full 32 minutes and look at every call and overturn every
There you
call
go.
because the bad calls might have been made before. So,
Before,
and
yeah.
it's set in if a court heard something like that, it would set a bad precedent.
Can you imagine? Yeah, the
Yeah,
whole game of sports will be going upside down because
every,
everybody's gonna change the results all the
yeah,
time.
everything will be challenged, and
Yeah, because I see it
yeah,
happening in horse racing. I think Bafford's horse won the Kentucky Derby a few years ago, and
hmm
they finally said it like about a couple of weeks ago that yeah, that he's been disqualified and all of that stuff, but because he tested positive afterwards.
hmm
But I mean, all the punters that lost money, whatever, they're not gonna get it back. It's
right,
done. It's done,
it's
right? So
done.
whenever the event is over, anything that happened there, that's it. As long as it was ruled acceptable, then you got to move on, whether it's good or bad or wrong or right.
Yeah,
It is what
exactly.
it is, right?
It is what it is. So they gotta live with it and just watch the finals today, and you know, and
Yeah.
just
Not happy to watch it. I'm sure
not
they're not
happy.
going to be, but what can you
It is.
say?
Can't do anything about it.
You
Yeah.
can't do anything about this one.
Remember, that reminds me of that famous goal by Maradona. God bless
The
his very
hands
soul.
of God.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, can we
And
call that back?
England wanted to change, and they talked, and but they couldn't change it. It was
They couldn't change it.
accepted, and they moved on.
Yeah, that's how it is. You're gonna have some good calls and bad calls in
Bad
sport.
calls. Yeah, it's part of the game. You won't get it
Yeah,
right all the time. You just gotta
yeah,
hope it doesn't happen often to you, but yeah, it may
yeah, for
happen.
sure. So yeah, so that's how we wanted to start today. But then we go into some tennis, Roger, and some good news, I guess, for Simona Halep. She she got
Yeah,
her ban overturned, I guess you could say.
yeah.
She's now going to be back next week.
You know what? I'm sort of happy for her. She kept fighting it, and at one point I said to because it
Hmm
was twice, right? And I'm saying to myself, she must know something why she's not giving up. So when you see somebody persevere in this, you know that maybe she had a something on her side, and it pays off. She can resume her career right now.
Yeah, she's actually got the wild card into the main draw of the Miami Open, which
Yeah,
next week. So
let's see if she's in
that,
shape. But
yeah,
I mean, she has won Grand Slams and all of that, so it's not
mhm.
a small time play at all. So welcome back to the courts, Simona.
Yeah, for sure. Welcome back, and hope she does well. And it also sheds a bad light on Serena's former coach. I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
Yeah, the French guy.
yeah,
Because a couple of people in his academy came out and said he was giving them substances to drink.
drink. Okay,
Yeah, so I guess that may have helped her case because she
yeah,
was training with him.
with him. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah,
It's like you can't get away from it, eh? You gotta trust your coach to do what's best for you,
no,
and he's doing something that is not good for you,
mhm,
but maybe good for him, right? Which is unfortunate.
it's good for him. Yes, it is unfortunate for sure. But besides that, there's some tennis ongoing now on the court. The
Yeah,
tournament.
Indian
Go ahead.
Wells. In Indian Wells, you're
Indian
talking?
Wells, yeah, Indian Wells has
Yeah,
started. Yeah, Indian Wells has started. Yeah.
they're doing well there, man. I think the first thing I saw though was the big announcement saying I can't lie to myself, although I
hmm
think he is. But Rafael Nadal, he
Right.
withdrew from Indian Wells, right? And
Yep.
we're now March, and he's withdrawn everything that he's supposed to play. He's getting older, man, so maybe he's lying to himself to think he's gonna really come back. But I'll give him the credit though that if he wants to do it, let's go for it. But it seems as if it's not going to be easy for him to get back into representational tennis. That he can't really represent himself on the courts anymore because he's just too injured to
Yeah.
return.
Kind of reminds you of Tiger Woods. His mind is saying, "Yeah, I want to play," but
But his body is
his
saying maybe
body's,
not.
yeah,
I think Tiger may be able to pull one good one off, but I mean, there's a
Hmm.
little difference in tennis,
Yeah,
You gotta be fit to do this. But I mean, he's a true champion. He's an unbelievable player. So if he believes he can do it, you sort of have to trust that. But it's been a challenge. It's been like a year and a half now. He hasn't done
yeah.
anything.
Every time he thinks he's coming back, he played an exhibition match
Yep.
I think, a week ago against Alcaraz.
Yes.
But after that,
He's down
went
again, right?
down. Yeah.
So, and that wasn't a full blown because it was an exhibition, right? So you can imagine,
Hmm.
it's going to be tough for him. But we'll see. We have the youngster Sinner, Yannick Sinner. He's still going on. He's at Indian Wells, and
Hmm.
he's unbeaten all year.
He's unbeaten all year, yeah, and he's looking good.
Yeah,
And you saw Alcaraz won his first round game, but struggled a bit because he lost the first set. Then he came
yeah.
back and won the second two matches big. But yeah, it's TFO, another player who I like to see play, and he had a bad run recently, but he won also in good
Okay,
style.
okay. Yeah, see, Felix Auger Aliassime, he's also there. So it's
Yeah.
good to see the young Montrealer doing his thing. Finally, it seems as if he's getting a little more consistent. At least he's not going out in the first round all the time anymore. But
Hmm.
yeah, I think he's going to be up against maybe Alcaraz in the next round.
In
But
the next, yeah.
we'll see how that one goes. But Alcaraz, I think he has said it. He's not worried about, he's not winning more Grand Slams. But I'm getting a little worried because I thought he was way ahead of everybody else, but apparently he's not. He's just
Mm-mm.
maybe a touch above them. So
Yeah, he is just yeah. And the other Canadian, Shapovalov, he's there too. So
yes, yes,
he won his game, so he's still there. And on the women's side, just Madison Keys, she won.
yeah.
Swiatek, no surprise.
Well, she's not winning where she needs to win, so she gets to the quarterfinals and semis and gets
And
stuck there. But yeah,
yeah,
she's no surprise here. Every time she's out there, to tell the truth, I think she's going to win the whole thing.
yeah, every time she's there, she looks unbeatable. And
Yeah, and then she does something silly.
yeah, yeah, looking forward to seeing matches today. We've got Goff playing today at 2 o'clock, and also Leila Fernandez, she's playing as well. The Canadian.
Let's hope she's recovered from her
Hmm.
injury. I mean, she had to stop her last game.
Yes, she did. So let's just hope she's recovered.
Yeah.
So look forward to those games this afternoon, and
Yeah,
maybe I'll watch some
exciting afternoon
tennis.
of tennis. I mean, tennis
Yeah.
somehow tennis seems to be like on a rebound. I should almost say, it's like every week or every couple of weeks there's something going on that you have some interest in. So the year's off to a good start for tennis. I mean, there's no real dominant player, but I mean it's competitive tennis out there, and you sort of
Hmm.
want to see what's going on.
Yeah, you do. So you get locked in on it and make sure if you
Correct.
don't see, you look at the highlights, or even some of the replays sometimes.
Yes.
So we get
Yes.
locked
Yes.
in on it.
Yeah.
So what's happening in Formula One? It's just a Verstappen year again.
It started off that way, but there seems to be a lot of fighting going on behind the scenes in the Formula
Hmm.
One. But I mean, I must say that he started off the year on top, just like
Hmm.
he finished the year before. So, but everybody's coming out. I think Lewis Hamilton is saying, I think my car can compete.
Hmm.
So I think George Russell is saying sort of the same thing. I think they're looking for some good battles this year. So he was dominant
Yeah.
in Bahrain. Let's see how he does in Saudi Arabia. But
Yeah.
he's definitely the clear favorite,
Yeah.
and I think he's probably going to win again, maybe, but he's not going to dominate within 95% of the races. I think he may lose more than
This
he did last year for sure.
Yeah, he's got the pole again this year in Saudi, this weekend,
Yeah,
sorry, in
this
Saudi.
weekend.
And
Yeah,
Lewis is down in number 8, and he started complaining again, Lewis. He's saying that the car is doing things it did a couple of years ago.
which is unfortunate. I mean, I don't know. Well, he's not a crybaby, so he's a tough guy, I believe.
Hmm.
But I don't know, and I don't think they're doing it to him. But it does things are just not adding up for him these days, and it's you're on the streak where you win all the time whenever you want, and then suddenly now it's a lot of little things and you can't perform anymore. So is it him or is it the little things? At some point you gotta decide which one it is.
Yeah, it kind of looks like him, like his car. He's actually
Yeah.
saying that they're doing the same. His setup is not the same as his partner, Russell. So,
Yeah, and I believe that actually, I believe that, and but I don't think they would. In, I mean, it would look awesome for them if he goes out as a champion, in my opinion.
hmm.
But I mean, they may see the other way and say, you know what? they're going to get young Russell to do this thing. So I don't know. That's the
Yeah,
politics behind the scenes that is difficult. You can only speculate, and sometimes it's not so good to speculate. But it does look a little weird, is the best way to put it.
it does look weird, but they're seventh and eighth on the grid this weekend, so maybe
Yeah,
let's say no, no, no big deal. Nothing is wrong.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see how he does. I think, in my opinion, he's the better driver. So, but let's see how far he can go this year. But he wants to win, he says, and I think he's going to give it his best shot to do it.
Yes, I think he will. And there's also some talk about his director of driving going with him to next year when he leaves for
Yeah, there's that talk.
yeah,
There's that talk. I think it will happen.
yeah. So Ferrari will have some new members working with them.
With
I
them,
guess it
yeah.
only make it makes sense.
You
It
know
makes
what? To be successful, you gotta have that trust in the people that are around you, and obviously that trust is there here. So, why go try to figure somebody else out when you already know this person can do it, right? So
hmm
that's how they get where he's coming from. And I mean, Ferrari wants him to win. So if he thinks that is gonna make him win, they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
They're gonna
Do you
do it.
watch boxing, Roger?
Not so much. Well, before we get out of this Formula One,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of talk about Horner, Christian Horner.
Christian Horner, yes.
Yeah, and Verstappen's dad got into it. You know,
Correct.
so I don't know. Do you think it's too much of a distraction because now that Horner got off, and now the woman they suspended the woman
The
who he was
suspended
accused of,
woman, yes.
and then I guess she released all some messages. Everything got leaked. So
Mm.
I you tell me, is there
There's a
what's going
lot.
on here? Is it
There's
what
a
they
lot.
say that if he stays here, the whole Red Bull is going to blow up?
Maybe because even now, Marco,
Yeah,
he's facing suspension to helmet Marco.
yeah,
He's facing suspension by Red Bull,
yeah.
and been another internal investigation about team principal Christian
Yeah,
Horner. So I
honor.
mean,
Yeah,
everything is surrounding Horner. So I think if he sticks around, yeah, it's gonna
it's
just
gonna
keep
blow up.
going up,
Yeah,
and that could create a lot of problem. I saw Hamilton made a comment about to Verstappen about keeping his dad out of these things.
he should. He should.
Yeah,
I agree with
so
that. I mean, his dad. I mean, yeah, he's not part of this whole thing. He's just a dad, right? So why is he in the middle of
exactly.
this?
Yeah,
It has nothing to do with him. But
but yeah, it probably will blow up. I mean, sometimes I wonder if they're just, I mean, trying to get some excitement. It's not it's not. It's kind of a boring sport at times.
yeah,
So
it can
you
be.
need some. So you need something, especially if one person keeps winning over and
Winning,
over and over.
yeah. Well, they've
So
found a lot, So there's all these things back behind the scenes now,
yeah,
all these conversations, all these finger pointing, all this stuff. So people changing teams. So they're
yeah.
finding ways to make it exciting off the roads.
Yes, they are. So yeah. But that's a story that we need to keep an eye on and see what
For sure,
happens.
to see what happens with them. And the
Yeah.
last one with well, it's not
hmm
Formula One, but driver Zayn Maloney of Barbados. He won a Formula Two victory in Bahrain
Yes, I
Sprint.
saw that.
So
Yeah.
you don't get a lot of Caribbean drivers on the circuit doing well. So gotta big him up, Zayn Maloney of Barbados, and how you won his Formula Two race in Bahrain.
Yeah, Barbados seem to come with drivers and jockeys and
And
different
yeah,
things. Yeah, so
they do.
they do have Barbados is known for their sports anyway, so
They
it's
are,
not
they
totally
are
surprising
correct,
to see
correct.
that.
All right, so you said you want
Mm.
to do boxing now? That you want
Yeah,
to come
just wanted to just
Lennox
a
and away?
quick no, not Lennox. Lennox is all retired commentating, but
All right.
I watched the fight with Joshua and the Francis Ngannou. Ngannou is actually a UFC champion.
Yes, yes.
Right. So he switched to boxing. He fought Fury and had a good fight. So he thought he could take on
Joshua,
Joshua, and but Joshua knocked him knocked him
straighten him
out.
out. You straighten him out.
Yeah,
Tell him
he
stick to your sports, young man.
in
Don't
less
come over
than
here.
in less than 2 rounds. I mean, he had him on the
Yeah,
floor 3 times, and
yeah.
it was very
If you,
scary the third time.
you know what, I think what's better than a UFC, right? They think they're the baddest people out there, but
hmm
it's different skills,
It is different skills.
and
Yeah.
you're not using your all everything in boxing, right? You're just using your hands basically.
Yeah,
So, you don't, some of the things you can do with your feet and all of that and the movements you can make, you can't really do that in boxing. So I think he just found out that if he's going to become a boxer, he has to train to become a boxer
yeah. There's a
and not
lot of
rely on
work.
his UFC skills.
Yeah, there's a lot of work he needs to do because it was really scary to see him go down, and
Go down.
they had to bring medical attention in the ring, use
Yeah.
oxygen and stuff to bring him back around. So,
Yeah, it's tough.
yeah, yeah, he got some good
He got his
punches.
lights knocked out.
I expected a closer fight, looking at what he did with Fury going on almost the
Yeah.
distance. So I thought, but
He was ready for the prime
he
time,
was
but
ready. Yeah,
apparently not. Apparently
yeah.
not.
I guess the next time is. Then I'm sure this is going to set up another match between Fury and Joshua.
It will. It definitely should. Definitely should. And I'm sure he can do that to Fury.
No, he can't. Both times against Fury didn't look very good, but he looks sharper
Exactly.
now. But never
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
it's who he's fighting.
There you go.
Yeah,
There comes Predator.
yeah. So
Mhm.
okay, we can that's it. And what I want to talk about boxing. Anything you want to talk about golf before we get into cricket?
Just quickly before we get into, well, not much going on in golf other than they're
Not
still
much.
arguing about are we going to merge? Are we going to merge? Are we going to not
Yeah,
going to merge?
and they've also withdrawn. The Live have withdrawn the
Yeah,
application to get
to
point
join.
to
Yeah,
join ranking
yeah,
points. Yeah, so
yeah. They said Greg Norman doesn't like it, so
yeah.
so let's see what happens there. But yeah, I think former chief executive for the World Tour was saying it's inevitable though, even if it take 10 years, that people are going to come to the realization that a collective product is the best interest of global golf. So it's the only way growth and prize funds will continue. So it is inevitable that they may be dancing around it now, but it has to happen. He's saying so. I guess maybe we just have to wait and see how long it takes for it to happen.
That's so true. I don't know what happened, Roger, but my camera seemed to have gone, but I'm still here.
You're still around.
I'm still around. Yeah.
I'm seeing you. You just seem frozen, which is
Oh,
fine.
okay. I'm not sure what's happening.
Which
Yeah.
is fine. But yeah, another quick thing is basketball.
Yes,
So got
NBA,
to give a little credit to Mr. LeBron James, the first to reach 40,000 points.
40,000 points, a lot. Yeah.
So kudos to him. I mean, he's playing for a bit now, but he has done it. First to reach 40,000. So as they would say, big him up on his achievements.
Yeah. Do you think anybody will get there? It took a while to get
Took a
to
while to get there, but
where,
I realized, a lot more scoring is happening in the game these days.
yeah,
So yeah, some of us could get there. I
the
think
average points have gone up per game.
way up. It's
And
like
yeah.
115, so it's gone way up. So before
And,
it was in the 80s, so it's up by like 30 or so. So it's a big jump. So we'll
and
see.
Lakers beat Milwaukee last night by one
By,
point,
by
which was a
1 point,
surprise. And
which
LeBron didn't play.
I'm wondering what's going on because I thought
Yeah.
Milwaukee was starting a nice little roll. So
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting to see what Doc Rivers does with them. But yeah, I was surprised at that result, I must admit.
Yeah, big surprise. But I guess LeBron wasn't there, so Russell stepped up and had 44 points,
Yep,
right?
it was
So,
his time to shine.
yeah,
A good sign for them though, because if he can do that, and you got Davis and LeBron on the time when it's important, they show up. So if all
hmm
three are there, it's going to be a dangerous team to beat.
it will be for sure.
And the last thing in
Mm-hmm.
basketball, I think they're saying here that Toronto sports mogul Larry Tannenbaum, who is part of MLSC,
Mm-hmm.
he's pursuing a WNBA team, expansion team
Yes,
for Toronto. So kudos to him. I mean, they're saying he's doing it without MLSC involvement, but it was, Maple Leaf Sports is a massive organization, so they can get whatever they want. But he seems as if he can do it on his own as well. So it'd be nice to have the WNBA here in Toronto. I think they'll
it'll
get
be.
a good crowd.
Yeah, they did have a sellout when they had the exhibition game
Exactly,
here.
exhibition
So,
game. Yeah,
yeah, so if they can get that night, and even women's sport is picking up so big because the women's hockey game
hockey
in
league.
Toronto at
It's
the
awesome.
Scotia Centre, there was the largest hockey crowd ever for a
Ever.
women's game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so
it's 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 sold off. I'm telling you,
yeah,
man, it's going really well.
so
I'm so
yeah,
happy for it. So
yeah.
happy for it. All right.
And,
So you're gonna talk
well,
about what's going on
yeah,
in cricket?
in cricket, yeah, you're listening to Love Bay Afrobeats Music Talk Radio, and yeah, there's so much happening in cricket that
There is.
we're gonna start with the West Indies Championship, which resumes. on the weekend on Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and looking forward to that. And Barbados have strengthened their team because it's the first time in 4 years that I didn't even realize it's so long. Jason Holder will be playing a first-class
Oh,
regional
really?
match. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow. That's almost
and
like a blast from the past. 4 years is a long time in cricket.
4 years is a long time. And Jason Holder back playing is good. Um, that's probably why his form went off. I didn't realize it's that long that he didn't
Yeah,
play regional cricket. But good to see him back. And Kemar Roach is going to be back as well
yeah,
for
yeah.
Barbados. So Barbados has named a strong team. They do need some help because they're
They
standing
started off so poorly.
for, yeah, but they're down in third place. Windward Islands in 3-0, Leeward Islands 2-1,
Hmm.
Barbados 2-1. They're just behind the Leewards in Jamaica, who are one and
Yeah,
two.
1 and 2. Yeah,
TNT 1-1-1, Guyana 1-1-1, and West Indies Academy one
Academy.
and two, CNC 0-3. So that's the standing at the moment. So I'm
Yeah,
looking
yeah,
forward to the matches coming up this Wednesday, which is the TNT versus Windward Islands, um, CCC versus Leewards, Guyana, Barbados, and Windward Islands versus Jamaica. And
yeah.
hopefully those should be some good matches. And
It should
Jamaica.
be. All the stars are, well, most of the stars are back, so it should be
Hmm.
interesting to watch. But I see Jamaica made a move. I'm not sure what your thought. Well, I can guess your thoughts on this one, but they
Hmm.
took away the captaincy from Jermaine Blackwood and said they're going to give
Yeah.
it to Brandon King, and they weren't so happy with some of the decisions he made in the Barbados game. They felt his poor decision making led to Jamaica losing that game. So I don't know the details of what bad decisions he made. I didn't really watch the game, but Nikita Miller, the assistant coach, spoke briefly about it, and he said, yeah, he made some decisions which were probably not the best decisions to make, but
I
he's
think
learned.
what I think what you're gonna see is that he's gonna go from there to probably eventually being kicked off the team.
I'm wondering.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
believe if he doesn't produce, he's gonna get dropped. There's no sense playing the same guys over and over. You're not gonna
true, true.
help the team. Then what's the point? You might as well move on to others who are going to
Do
help
something. Yeah,
and
he has
do
been a
something.
disappointment, but he's trying to play more cricket. I see him playing in the Jamaica Cricket League, and I think he made like a century or something. So maybe he'll have something to back him up. But he's certainly not doing so great right now, and they said he's not doing great as a captain, not doing great as a batsman. So we'll see.
People talk about form and stuff. A lot of thing about form is 'cause if you practice, you put in the work, but a lot of it is mental. It's your
Yep.
confidence,
Yeah, it
you
is.
know.
It
So
is. And I know Robert
it's
Simmons, I did a great job with him and got him to where he was, but I'm not sure if Robert is still helping
I'm
him
not
out or.
sure. I'm not sure if he is. Yeah, I'm not sure if he's even around the team anymore.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
So yeah, but yeah, that continues on Wednesday. I'm looking forward to those matches to see some. The good thing that happened at coming towards the end, teams were coming into their own and some large scores, big scores
Yeah.
we were getting, and we
Hmm.
just hope that that continues and you see a couple
Yep.
more hundreds. And the
Very
players who went
optimistic.
to the West Indies team, they stood up. So let's see, hope we see that.
I'm actually looking forward to see that, especially. I think for many years, games ended in 2 days, and nobody
Yeah,
making runs. But it seems to have changed this year. We've seen real cricket, in my opinion, which is good.
yeah. And move from the men to the women, and down in St. Kitts, they have the women's tournament going on. Jamaica remains unbeaten, Roger.
They're off to
And
a flying start. I think Stephanie Taylor is pumped up, and the whole team is pumped up around her.
yeah,
So they're off to a flying start for sure.
yeah, she's doing well. She's got there was a controversy in one of the games, I guess, because they had her showing that she scored 100, but at the end of the day, the scorers
97.
changed it to 97 because
Oh,
there
they
was
had her
some.
showing as a. I know she made 97, so they had her showing
Yeah,
as 100. Oh
they had
my,
her showing at 100 at some point.
that's that
Yeah,
that that
that's not
that's
good because
that's
she might have thought she was at 100,
that's
you know.
wow.
So
Can you
yeah,
imagine you're out there thinking you're at 100 and it's, oh no,
yeah,
by the way, you're 97.
yeah. So at the end of the day, the scorers retallied, and she was 97. So I think yeah, TNT is not doing badly either,
Yeah, they're doing
but they
well.
lost to Jamaica. I think
Yeah,
that's the
Jamaica
only
did
loss they've had. Barbados started poorly, but they beat Guyana in the last game quite
good.
convincingly.
Okay,
And
okay.
Leeward Islands, as usual, they're a building team. They don't have a
Hmm.
tournament. They're building, and I think of Leeward Islands. I think of teams like Sri Lanka when they started out and won a World Cup. But I think if the ladies in Leeward Islands continue,
Hmm.
they will eventually get better. So,
Okay.
and Windward Islands, on the other hand, too, they have a good program. They have a good team,
Okay.
and but they lost the game to Guyana. I think the second game.
Second game. Okay.
Yeah. But other than that, the tournament seems to be going good.
It seems to be good. I
Continues
don't know if they're
tomorrow.
getting good crowds though. I mean, just based on what I
No
saw in the
crowds.
stands.
There's no crowds. They
Yeah.
the diehard fans are there watching the games. When I look
I
at the
know.
games,
Yeah.
I
That's what I'm seeing.
see the same faces when I was in St. Kitts 20 years ago. So I
The
don't
same
think,
old crew.
yeah, it's the same old crew.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. I tell you, cricket needs an injection over there in the Caribbean.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, and what other cricket is happening? Well, England got demolished last night again.
I saw what was going on. What happened to them? I mean, oh, Ben Stokes is back and he took a wicket with
He
his first
bowled, he
ball,
took a
but
wicket, yeah, but
what happened after that? What's going on here?
I
They're
think
getting
that
demolished, man. I'm a little surprised at the battering.
I think they're confused how to play. They've got this thing about baseball, which is
Yeah,
fine. You want to be aggressive and play good cricket,
yeah,
and it's fine. But you basically have to understand the conditions you're in, and India conditions don't always call for that. So I
yep.
think two low scores by England in this game,
Hmm.
218 and 195. India's batted once, 497, two centuries for India.
Yeah.
And always glad to see when Rohit Sharma. I think he's one of the most underrated players in world cricket.
I think he has done it to himself, though. I think he came in as he's going to be the man, and I really
Mhm.
thought that he would have been special. But then sometimes he's just not there. I'm not sure what's going on.
Maybe, but yeah, he's very laid back too and quiet, so maybe he's not out there like Kohli and those guys.
Yeah,
But I'm
maybe.
happy to see my favorite batsman get 100, Shubman Gill. I know I always
Yeah,
think that he's gonna go well, and everybody talks about Jaswal. I don't know if you saw Chris Gill's tweet, his
which
post,
one?
where he said Jaswal reminded him of Chandapal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because there were people saying that Jaswal looks like Chandapal, his face.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, he
not
does.
his
He does.
batting because he's very aggressive, but his
Yeah, his,
his looks.
his physical. Yeah, no, no,
Yeah,
I agree with that too. Yeah,
mm,
Jasmine is good. But that's been, yeah, I'm with you. Shudman Gill is me the better one,
yeah,
in my
Shubman
opinion.
is. Yeah, I like him quite a bit as a batsman. But in this Test match, I'm happy to see Ravindra Ashwin in his 100th Test,
100 tests, yeah.
getting 9 wickets in the game. So,
I know. He says his family is more excited about the 100th than him,
right,
but yeah, he's there and he's doing well.
I'm surprised he's just played 100, Roger, because this guy does well all the time. But India's strategy for games, he's always the first to get dropped in
Yeah, it's
in
in
some
and out,
conditions.
in and
Yeah,
out. I never understand that because almost every time he plays, he's fantastic.
yeah,
But
but
then you take him out. It's like, okay, what's going on here? But I guess they're being very strategic with him.
they're very strategic with their planning. So England lost that series 4-1, and it's I guess time for them to now focus on the T20 World Cup coming up in a couple of months' time.
Couple months
And,
time, it's in the West
yeah,
Indies.
and the West Indies and the USA. And
Yes,
some of the teams are saying they don't know the conditions in the USA, but I think
that's the
that's for
mystery.
everybody.
Exactly, it's a mystery to
Yeah.
all, not just any one team.
Yeah,
But
other
they said
matches.
they said, they said that the cricket West Indies, some people resigned. Some media people resigned.
Yes, there are a couple of media. Dario Bartley resigned, and Anisa Mohammed.
It's weird
Not
that you're
Anisa
coming so
Mohammed,
close
but
to this,
Mohammed.
Mohammed. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're coming so close to this, and I think you probably worked on this to get here, and then you resign. Is something going on in the background, or
possibly, but I understand from what I've heard and read is that it's possible that they got jobs elsewhere. I think
okay,
there's
yeah,
speculation that Bartley got a job in Bermuda, so maybe he had a better offer. And he's
maybe.
young, so he's looking at explore opportunities. So
Oh, okay, okay.
I think
So
it could
nothing
be.
weird. It's just regular business in life.
I think it's regular business in life. Yes,
Okay.
people move on. We know. people are always looking for better
Yeah,
opportunities. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's probably what may have happened.
Probably
Just that the timing looks
the
bad.
timing doesn't look good at all. Like
Yeah,
something is behind it. But yeah, if it's
yeah,
it's regular stuff, then it's just
and
regular stuff.
especially with Philip Spooner, who was there before, has gone
Go-
recently too. So
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
doesn't look that good.
No,
But we'll hear more about it, I'm sure.
for sure, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so just saying before we get on the track, because New Zealand and Australia in the second test, they're battling in day two. Some small scores, 162 all out New Zealand, 38 by Latham in the first innings was the first, was it the highest score. And Josh Hazlewood had four, Cummins had four wickets. Australia, they scored 256 with 90 from Labuschagne, finally getting some runs there.
Finally,
Yeah,
finally.
seven wickets for Matt Henry. Wow,
Mm,
seven for
good
67.
haul, good
Good
haul.
haul for sure. Batting the second time, New Zealand are 134 for two, so they have a slight lead of
Yeah,
40 runs. And Kane Williamson finally getting a 50. Would have liked to see him go on and get 100, but
good. Yeah,
Tom Latham is still there on 65, and Rachin Ravindra is there with him on 11. So,
11. Okay.
and quickly, the Bangladesh won the T20 series against Sri Lanka. Sorry, won the T20 series against Bangladesh 2-1, and the ODI series starts on Wednesday.
Hmm.
And Roger, I must talk before I leave about Canada's great, fantastic performance in UAE,
I
and
like those words.
yeah,
Wow, great and fantastic.
yeah,
Wow, nice to
it
hear.
was a remarkable performance to see because Canada came out of the tour to Hong Kong and Nepal, losing all those games. No one
Yeah,
thought that there was a chance for Canada to get anywhere close. So to win those matches and to beat Scotland twice, the number 11th ranked team in the world,
that's big. That
it's
is
big.
big.
And
Yeah, no, that is big. Kudos to the team. That's really
yeah,
good to hear.
and the young vice captain Harsh Stacker in the last two matches scored unbeaten hundreds in both games. So he's 100,
Yeah.
So it was really good to see that.
No, that's really, really good to see, man. Wow.
Yeah, it was good to see
There's
how they
hope.
stepped up.
There's a lot of hope for the
There's
team.
hope. It's early days because only four of 36 matches for the World Cup qualifiers, but
Hmm.
at least it's a great start for Canada,
Canada. Yeah, for
and
sure it
just
is.
expect them to go from strength to strength. So
Yep, that's the plan.
yeah,
If they can get better and better from here, then it's going to be fantastic cricket for Canada going forward.
yeah. And as you mentioned earlier, the West on the news and notes quickly, the women's tournament in St. Kitts,
Hmm.
and I saw a news headline that says CDRBI strengthens partnership with St. Kitts and Nevis, and Minister of Sports, the Prime Minister met with the President of West Indies. But I may get in trouble for this, but that's when I saw that headline and read the article. The first
Hmm.
thing came to mind was, you know, the Jamaican saying, you got to dance a yard before you dance
That's
abroad.
abroad.
Because
Yep.
I'm not sure that they are doing
Ready.
anything for the cricket like that in St. Kitts. So they got to take a serious look at what they're doing for St. Kitts. Not saying don't help West Indies, which
Yeah,
is good. I
yeah.
don't have partnerships, but have partnerships with the local association as well.
Correct. That would be
Yeah.
where you start, right?
Yeah.
Definitely where you
So,
start. And before we get out of cricket, I know
mm-hmm.
Mr. CEO himself, Dr. Shallow, he's
Mm-hmm.
now saying that the big guys are ensuring that West Indies never become strong. So
Yes.
I don't know. Are you with him on this? I mean, a lot of people have been saying
Um,
that though.
yeah,
So
the
I don't know.
CEO and Johnny Graves said that.
Oh,
Yes.
there's the CEO. Sorry, not
Yeah,
not
not Shaw,
not
Johnny
Shallow.
Graves, and he was quite vocal at that. And you know, I sort of agree with him, but
Yeah,
these words are coming late, though. I think it is said because it's almost like I mean, look at the disparity between the finance and
correct.
that teams get. I mean, I know that India and those countries are the larger ones, and they bring in all the video audit. But if you want the countries to develop,
To
and
develop. Yeah,
I think, yeah, it's like they don't want to give West Indies what they
true.
need to develop and become a strong
Yes,
entity
true,
again,
true,
because
true.
West Indies ruled the cricket world for like 15 years, and
They're gonna make sure it never happens
it
again.
never happens again.
I
But
know, but I know Craig Brathwaite was saying, like for a test match, I think West Indians get 10,000, while for the Indians and the big guys they get 20,000. So
of course, yeah.
they're saying it should be. equal. I'm not sure if you'd ever get that, but
They will
St. Lucia
never.
equal. I don't know.
You'll never. They don't have the money to pay that kind of thing.
They
So
don't. They don't.
they
But he's
just
saying they should be subsidized, so that
buy it.
yeah. But yeah,
ICC should subsidize. Yeah,
yeah,
that's what he's saying. So
yeah.
yeah, it's a lot to do and learn about how the cricket money is
Spend
distributed, and do you really want cricket to flourish? Because it doesn't make sense that three countries are good and then
control.
the others, yeah,
Others watch and and see
no.
what's going on and can't really participate at the top.
Yeah, I think a model like similar to FIFA, because FIFA must be doing something right, because the lesser teams are getting better.
They're getting a lot better. They have invested heavily in the
Yeah,
they give them money and set up academies for them and stuff like that. So they're trying. Give
yeah,
FIFA credit, although they usually say there are a lot of crooks there, but they're doing the right thing in many ways.
for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah,
All
definitely.
right, you want to talk some track and field?
Yeah, I think that's it for me with cricket. So definitely need to talk some track and field because I was glued all last weekend
Last weekend,
to
I
the
know.
TV and saw
I
some great times and celebrated with St. Lucia also.
Yeah, there's a lot of celebration going on, but I know you saw Christian Coleman, as you said, you wanted to see that race, and fascinating race. Christian Coleman were leading time, 6.41 to win that 60 meter and defend his title over Noah Lyles, who comes into this saying he wants to win 4 gold medals at the Olympics, and he did run on their 4x4 as well, and they lost by, in Jamaica terms, they said by a nose, but it was interesting to see him run that 4x4. His leg, they said, was the slowest of the Americans, but it wasn't slow by far. He did decent on his leg, but I'm not sure if he's going to be good enough to make it for the Olympic team because he wants to run 1, 2, 4x1, and 4x4 at the Olympics and get 4 gold medals. So let's see. He lost the 60 to Christian Coleman. He was
Hmm.
close, 641 to 644,
Yeah, it was good.
with Akeem Lake from Jamaica third, 646. But I don't know if he can beat Christian Coleman in 100, but we're going to see. That's going to be a
I
very,
think he
very
can
exciting one.
because he Noah has some speed because he's
He's a
always
good thrower.
his start is not the greatest, but he has some speed at the end there that he might be able to.
And I agree. That's what he's saying. I think he's saying this is the weakest part of his race, his first
Mm,
60. So if he can be this close to you in the first 60, then you have done the strongest part of your race. My strong part is coming. So yeah, he believes he can beat and win.
mm,
I wasn't totally sold on him, but then he taught me that I should never go against him when he won
right.
last year. So let's see if he can do it again this year. But it's going to be a little harder this year, I believe. People always come for the Olympics, so he did it last year. It's going to be a little harder for him to do it, but certainly he has the tools to do it. So that wasn't a world record; it was just a world leading time. But
Hmm.
England, they had so many world records popping at this meet. It was like, whoa, what is going on here? We had Grant Holloway in the 60-meter hurdles for men. He equaled his world record with 7.29.
So yeah.
It's like, wow, look at him go, look at him go. He was a very easy victor. Then we saw Femke Bal from the Netherlands. She broke her own 400-meter world record,
Yeah.
running 49.17, looking very relaxed doing it too. So
Hmm.
she's in fantastic form. And then she came back and they won the 4x4 as well. So she had a fantastic games. But then we saw the Caribbean, Ingle, the Caribbean, the Caribbean, the Caribbean. So we saw Devin Charlton from Bahamas. She set the world record in the 60-meter hurdles in New York a couple of weeks ago. She came back and she broke her own world record here, running 7.65 to get over the 7.67 that she did in New York. So kudos to her. She looks unbeatable. I'm telling you. I don't know what's going to happen outside when you go outdoors, but she looked unbeatable here. She was a clear winner, winning in 7.65 world record time. But then, of course, we talked about St. Lucia and Julian
Hmm.
Alfred, and
Finn and Alfred,
she's
yeah.
the big name. Although Charlton is the world record holder, Alfred is the name from the Caribbean, and St. Lucia's Julian Alfred found a way to beat Eva Swoboda 6.98 to 7.00 and win St. Lucia's first ever global gold medal. So
Hmm.
it was fantastic to see. She was in tears. She was overjoyed. She came to do it, and she kept her composure, and she did it. I mean, I don't know if you watched the race, England, but it was
Yeah, I did. I
fascinating to
watched the
see.
race. I was actually a bit nervous because I thought Svoboda looked so good in the
Yes,
semis.
yes.
Yeah.
She can be scary over 60
Uh,
meters, I can
yeah,
tell you.
60
So,
meters. Yeah, she's good.
but Julian Alfred kept her cool, just managed herself well, and yeah, she won. I think she has learned how to win when she won all those races over the last 2 years in college. So she's transferring it now to the international scene. And yeah, this is the beginning of many things. Never write her off. She is extremely good. Extremely good. So we're looking out for Julian Alfred when she goes outdoors now to see what she can do.
Yeah, I
But
think it's setting up a great Olympics.
it is going to be awesome. The Jamaicans
Yeah,
haven't showed up yet in terms of running even a race to see how they look, but
right.
they're going to be there. Shakara Richardson, she's the poster girl for Nike now, all over the place with pictures and
Yeah,
all of that, and awards and all of that. So she's still going to be there, and it's going to be a fascinating year
and
for sure.
even Brianna Williams is saying this is going to be her year in the one and
She
two.
said that it's
Yeah.
one of those that she has to prove it now because she hasn't had a good couple of years. So let's see if she can bounce back and do it. She sounds confident, so
Mhm.
let's see if she can make the Jamaica team. But right now, I don't think it's looking that great for her. But
That's what I was thinking too. She has to make Jamaica team first.
first, and I'm not even sure if she
Yeah,
can make that. But
yeah.
never write her off though. She's another one who knows how to win, and she's a champion, double champion at world junior level. So, but the Caribbean wasn't quite done in the world indoors, England, because there was another Caribbean victor when
Hmm.
Dominica,
Yeah,
little Dominica, Thea
mhm.
Lafon. She jumped an
Yeah,
amazing national record, 15.01, to win the triple jump. So kudos to her. This was a sort of a surprise to me to see how well she did in terms of winning and how far she jumped. So you know what? Dominica celebrating, St. Lucia celebrating,
yeah,
Bahamas celebrating. We got national champions here. So it's fascinating to see. Fascinating to see. Jamaica ended with 3 bronze medals overall, and they dropped the baton in the 4x4 women, which would have been their fourth medal, I think. But good games for Jamaica as well.
yes.
But the Canadians too are trying to make some noise, So everybody talks about Andre DeGrasse, but I mean, other people are out there doing it. And as you know, Sarah Mitten, she won the World Indoor Championships with a national record of 20.22 meters in the shot put. So Canada had a gold medal at the World Indoors, which was awesome to see. A national record from Sarah Mitten, who was a silver medalist at the World Championships. So she's doing well for herself. But other Canadians are there, as you know, the young man Christopher Morales Williams, 19-year-old
Hmm.
Ingle out of Vaughan.
Hmm.
He ran 44.49 to break a world record of 44.57 indoor 400 meters. Unfortunately, they're not going to ratify it. He'll get
Right.
the championship, NCAA, and all of that, but not a world record because they said the starting blocks was not compliant
Hmm.
to the standards, unfortunately for him. But he's there in the NCAA this weekend, so let's see what he's going to do. He has another chance now, I guess, to do it again with the right blocks, I think.
Right.
We
Is he
also,
coached by Tony Sharp as well?
yeah, he's coming out of Speed Academy.
Yeah.
Coming out of Speed Academy. So Tony Sharp is certainly making a name for himself of
Hmm.
producing big name championship runners because, I mean, everybody knows about Andre, but it's huge to see Christopher Morales Wilson. I mean, I saw him, Williams. I mean, I saw him at World Juniors, and he was good. But he has taken off. He's gone to Georgia and he's under Carol Gilbert Smith, who is an amazing coach. She's the one who used to coach DeGrasse in USC, and she's doing great things with him. That's all I can say. Really big things with him. So let's see if he can continue this, and he's definitely going to be a name to call this year in the Olympics. We had a couple of other national records in Canada here. So we have Alicia Newman. She was off for a bit in the pole vault and not doing so well, but she came back and did a national record, 4.83 meters. World Indoors wasn't so good for her. She had an ankle injury and couldn't complete it, but she's in great form. Hopefully by the Olympics she can be back. And Lauren Gale, not much known about her in terms of big names, but she's been coming along and she broke the national 300-meter record, running 36.48 indoors. So, Canadians are ready for the Olympics, Ingle. They're coming
Hmm.
out ready to
Yeah.
do something big. So, it's fascinating to see the Caribbean doing stuff, fascinating to see Canada doing stuff. So, the best of both worlds for me. So, I'm looking forward to see just how this outdoor season goes. Now, there's talk, Ingle, about Noah Lyles. So, let's go back to him for a minute. So, he said he wants to tell the world how much money he's making.
Hmm.
So, which is weird. I mean, everybody doesn't mind being quiet about it, but he wants to tell the world. So, Adidas did come out and say that he got the richest deal in track and field since Usain Bolt.
Right.
So they said Usain Bolt was about 30 million US. Rumors are 20 million US. Do you believe this rumor, Ingle, or you think it's just
20 million US.
yes?
Hmm. It's possible. It's
Possible.
possible because
Yeah,
they need a name in track and field, and he's charismatic and stuff. So
he is. I mean,
yeah,
I must say, in Jamaica, Stephen Francis, the coach of MVP, said it. He said, Laz is a marketing guy. He talks
he
as
did.
if he's the greatest, but he has his numbers are not even close to what Usain Bolt
To
had.
what? Yeah, because he tells you what he's gonna run 1910 and all this stuff. So
Not even close. Not there yet.
no,
So we'll see. But if he's getting 20 million, it'll be good for the sport.
and good for the sport. Yeah, good, better for the sport. And
Good for
I
him.
think nowadays most of these managers realize, they can demand this kind of money, and
Correct.
they will
Correct.
get it. Yeah,
So we'll see if that is true or not. I mean, it probably will never come out because Adidas refused to release it. But he says he wants to, but they're telling him he can't. so, so they're trying to give us, yeah, it's the richest one since you saying that's the most that they'll say. In other news coming out of track and field, talking about contracts, now we're going to talk a little bit about the shoe. So the Nike Super Shoes, believe it or not, Ingle, went for £500 for one shoe.
500 pounds. Is that the
But
one
it,
way shoe?
what's that? Yeah.
The one way shoe.
And they said it's sold out in minutes. So everybody's upset. It's like, what is going on here? You're gonna pay £500, not even dollars, for this one shoe, and then it sells out in minutes, and then you're gonna go buy it on eBay. So it's it's absolutely crazy now. But I don't know what's going on with this shoe, but this shoe is life
Shoe.
changing for many people apparently.
Roger, I just got a message here from someone who's watching. Says, "Don't forget about the 400-meter hurdler from BVI."
Oh yes,
Yes.
you mean
Kivaran, is
McMaster,
it?
Kyron McMaster?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I know him well. So yeah, he's going to be in the Olympics as well. He's changed coaches and he's changed management and everything. So it's so funny because my high school friend was his coach, and a close friend of mine was his manager. So yeah, I know a lot about what's going on with Kieran. But he's a potential medalist.
Hmm.
Potential medalist. He's in a tough field, but he has proven that he can win. He's Commonwealth champion and all of that stuff. So he knows how to win. And a great guy. As I said, I've met him and spoke to him a couple of times, and an amazing young man. So I'm actually looking forward to see how well he does this year as well. BVI is they have a couple of athletes there, so for sure he's one. And that young girl, I can't remember her name top of my head now, but she is the teenager that wins Kerf the Sealy Award and all of that stuff. So yeah, they have athletes coming up from the BVI for sure, for sure. Another announcement came out INGLE, and I think this is, I'm positive about this one, and I hope it works out. So I know
Hmm.
Coach Glenn Mills, former coach of Usain Bolt, said it would be best if World Athletics had track and field set up where World Championships was every year. At the end of the season, you work towards the World Championships and you give the World Champions big money. So they haven't said about the big money and all of that and how they're going to get to it, but they have announced that starting 2025, you're going to have a World Championship every
For
year.
every year, I heard that, and I was wondering, isn't it too much? But
You
I
know what? Every other sport does it.
oh, okay.
If you really think about it, every other sport does, well, except maybe cricket, but every
Hmm.
other sport, tennis, basketball, base, everybody have these championships every year, world championships every year, pretty much. So they're getting into that, and I think it will be good for the athletes as well, something to look forward to. They just got to pay them more because they mentioned Josh Carr from England. He won the gold medal at the World Indoors, the 3,000 meters, and he got I think $70,000 or something like that. And they said that's what the guy who went to the finals of the darts competition, the world championship, got. So they're like, look at this, we're competing with darts. So the money's
Darts.
just not there. So they're saying the world athletics needs to pony up the money, but at least it's starting to say every year there's going to be a world championships. Sure. All right, that was about it for me from track
I track
and
and field.
field.
Yeah, I think that's about it. I covered everything for the weekend, and looking forward to the outdoor season. That's all I'm waiting for. I don't even want to see any more indoors, to be
Yeah,
honest.
indoors is done now. We gotta wait a couple of weeks, and then you're gonna see all the relays started up in the US. And a lot of people are saying that's really gonna open their season. So I'm actually excited to see what happens in the next couple of
Yeah,
weeks.
making sure. I hope Aline is in top form. I mean, I want Shelly to go out to the win, but one to three, one to three Jamaica for me would be good.
That's what a lot of people are saying, but all three of them haven't showed up as yet. But I've
Haven't
heard they're
showed up.
training very hard, and we're gonna see if all three are gonna be ready or not. They're not as young, 30, 31, and I think 37 going 38. So not young kids, so they're looking after their bodies and timing their events really, really well.
I'm sure some St. Lucians are saying right now after I said that, don't forget we're gonna spoil the party.
You know what? As I said, Julian Alfred is one of the nicest person to meet. I love how she loves her country. And when I spoke with her, she's awesome, awesome young lady. So I'm optimistic. She said she learned a lot from her last World Championship events where she thought she'd have done a little better. She's ready now and she shows it. So she's going to be in the mix. 110%
For
she's going to
sure.
be in the mix for sure. She's going to be ready. And I'm happy that she already has a goal. So that's going to motivate her to get even more medals at the Olympics.
Nice. With a few
All right.
minutes left, we got about
Yeah.
5 minutes left, and
Yeah,
I
let's
know you
quickly
want
look
to
at some
back some
football.
football. Yeah.
So, Canada's women's soccer team, they fell to the USA on penalty kicks in the Gold
Mm-hmm.
Cup semifinal.
Okay.
It was a rainy game, so, sometimes with the rain, anything can go. But the shock before that game was that the US got 2-0, lost 2-0 to Mexico in the group stages. So it was like, is US ready? But, US always finds a way to win. So they're on their way to the Gold Cup finals, and let's see how well they do there. This weekend, tomorrow, Manchester City versus Liverpool, top of the
Liverpool.
table, and
Yeah.
the big argument is who is the best coach in the world, and they said these are the two guys, Klopp and Guardiola. So
Okay.
let's see who wins this game. But it's a very, 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 very big game coming up this
Yeah.
weekend.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
And
Yeah. Just 1 point, right? Just between
yep,
them.
yep,
Mhm.
it's gonna be a big, big game. Let's see who's the better
Okay.
coach.
Yeah.
And quickly to talk about the World Cup coming to North America 2026, and so Vancouver ended up getting 7 games.
Mm-hmm.
They thought they were going to get five. So, and I think Toronto thought they were going to get five, and they were getting six.
Six.
So no,
Yeah.
both have come out and said they don't even know where this money is going to come from. Right?
I
So,
know the mayor is saying that. Actually, I heard that Canada had on Toronto had an exit clause, but it was too. It's now too late to
can't
use
exit
that.
now.
Yeah.
It's
So,
gonna be,
yeah, the money they're putting pressure, I guess, on the federal government to get some more
somebody
money.
has to pony up, man. I
Yeah.
mean, but it would mean that they have to help out both Toronto and Vancouver. So there's
Yeah.
going to be more games in Vancouver, but two more than they planned for. So, yeah, it's
It's
fascinating. It's coming. I mean, they have enough notice though. It's 2026. They must can find the money by then.
of course they will. Yeah.
Certainly will. They have to. They better.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I can get tickets to go see the games in Toronto at
I
least,
do hope I can get some tickets for sure.
for sure.
Yeah.
And outside of that, my player, Paul Pogba, he has been on the decline for many years now, it seems, and
Many years. Yeah.
I think they're trying to say he's done. So he got banned 4 years for taking dope. So he
Yeah.
failed his drug test and got a 4-year ban. He's 31. He'll be back when he's 35. So I don't know what's going to happen to him. But he's appealing it. Let's hope he wins for his sake. But at this point in time, I think his career seems to have just dwindled away. A
It's
great
done.
player that
Yeah.
came to nothing.
Yeah. He's been a great. Yeah. Someone who expected to have greatness, and then now this it doesn't have.
Yeah.
You know.
Injury, controversy, and
Um,
now
yeah.
he's banned. So
Yeah. 4 years. So that's
it's
a
a
long
downward
time.
spiral for him, for
Yeah.
sure. Not
And
good at all.
but banned, I think you mentioned the suspension for, well, not banned, but suspension for
For Ronaldo,
Ronaldo.
yeah, because I think he gave a lewd signal to the crowd, holding
Yeah.
up his crotch. I don't know
But
what that was about.
he's done a few things before, and I guess they said they had enough of it now.
Yeah, it's he's making so much money that he's there for the money, but I don't think he's having fun.
Hmm.
He's not having fun.
And
Yeah, he's broken their rules a couple of times, so
yeah,
they suspend him for provoking the fans.
yeah, he's
That's
got to
really nice.
pay $5,000 or something. Who
That's
cares for him? He doesn't care
crazy.
about that.
Care about that. He's making almost $1 billion off this thing.
Yeah,
So
so
what's
that's
5 grand for him? He's
nothing
making
for
good
him.
dollars.
Yeah, and anything else you want to talk about before we get off? Because I think we have a minute to go, 2 minutes to go. I guess
Yeah,
before Theo comes on with today's Africa, and he's got a good guest. So you got to stay tuned and listen to today's African, and very interesting young man from, I think he's from Sudan, if I'm not
okay.
mistaken. Yeah. So Theo will listen to that program, and I listened to the first time he was on, and it was very interesting
Very
to listen to
interesting
the
to
young
listen
man.
to.
Yeah.
Fascinating
Yeah.
program coming up.
Yeah. So stay tuned. Thanks for listening, everyone. We've come to the end of another edition of the England Rogers Sports Hour on Love Bay Afrobeats Music Talk Radio. Tune in next week when we will be here to share with you again.